Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday, the 17th of July. So, just over halfway through the month. What's cooking? Well, firstly, let's just have a look at the news events coming out today and this week, really. Today, then, we've got a Japanese bank holiday. It's been running through. It made a great deal of difference to what I'm looking at the moment. It's all gone quiet anyway. Some Chinese data there, a bit mixed on the Chinese data. Industrial production increasing, but the GDP falling quite a chunk, and retail sales not really keeping up with things either. So it may be we'll see some more help on this basis, a bit more relaxing of things. As I've said before, they're sort of reducing interest rates just as everyone's increasing them. But anyway, different parts of cycles. So what else today? G20 meetings, we could catch something out of those. Sometimes we get a bit of volatility kicking around them. More importantly, this morning we got Lagarde speaking, along with a number of others. She's speaking at 9:15, 9:30 we've got Lane and Vassal, and then at 1:15 we've got Anderson and Vujicic. Easy for me to say. Pre-recorded, I open the ECB conference. Okay, so it's a pre-recorded, so well, not that makes any difference, but that's at 9:15, but there obviously won't be any questions from that. Right, Empire Manufacturing Index later this afternoon. Anything that's sort of showing growth or not, or contraction, will be under the microscope at the moment. So this figure rarely looked at in normal circumstances, but might become much more focused, or have more focus. Okay, well, who else we got going on here? Who else? What else? That's today. Then we've got inflation. We've got the Aussie minutes tomorrow, inflation tomorrow for Canada, the CAD. I was going to say, there's not a lot out this week. We've had a lot of inflation data last week, of course, on the US. Reserve Bank of New Zealand statement of intent. That's not really much of a move on Friday. Really quite a quiet week ahead. I think people are starting to look for the coming meetings already, with nothing else to be said. Anyway, let's have a look at the technicals. Morning, Cam. Dean, morning. So technicals, consolidating here at the moment on the euro. I mean, when you're looking at a 60-minute point of view, it's gone really to sleep. However, from this consolidation, it's sort of in the world of flags. Somewhere you'll see a flag-ish, but it is starting to move up there. Certainly don't want to be chasing this initially. We'll see what happens post 8 o'clock, but it's starting doing something. Risk, of course, is when it pulls back from being a flag, is it ends up as a divergence at some point, and then sellers start coming in. So you've got to be a bit careful. Pound, another one that's just really, it's a bit more flaggy here, clearer on the flaggy side of things, a bit more of a retracement. I mean, all of the pivots today, euro to pound, etc., very pinched after Friday's going nowhere day. I suspected it would be a quietish day because what we'd seen previously, you generally get some consolidation thereafter. There wasn't a lot to move the market on Friday, and the market wasn't really moved a lot on Friday. Dollar yen. Looks like it's trying to roll back this morning and continue its downward passage, but still, I mean, Friday, there was times when I was looking at it and it got pretty close, but never triggered what I was looking for. Consolidated above that level now anyway, but it spoilt what was there, so bit more suspicious over the moves there for now. Aussie dollars continue to sell off today from Friday. Did the question, sorry, I'll come back one. I did question a double top here, but well, it's having its effect at the moment and sliding off much more. I mean, you look at for flags, etc., but this has come down quite a long way, and over a longish period of time, so it's lost the nicer pattern. Okay, potentially still a flaggy sort of pattern on the 4-hourly, but 60 minutes doesn't look so convincing, just looks softish at the moment. Of course, that could all change today. It's a new week. People might be back onto this selling the dollar stages. US dollar CAD, well, it's a bit of a reversal on Friday. We've sort of gone to this sort of key, ended up with a key reversal bar there. That's not to say the market's going to bounce, it's just there's a key reversal bar there, a single bar. Sometimes they work out well. You can go back and look at them historically, and often they've done quite well. But what a lot of people miss is all the reversal bars that never actually worked. When you just look at highs and lows only and not look at the rest of the market, you'll only see what you want to see, or what is there. And quite often there'll be key reverse pivot swings. I can point out loads and loads of I can point out 5 pivot swings on this market alone, but do they all work when market's going a different or in trend? And the answer is often not. Anyway, some do, some don't. Pivot swing's quite good actually. But where we're sitting on this market at the moment, then the US dollar CAD is quite slow. Whether now it's got I quite like the idea of it hitting the daily pivot, but it's gone up there so strongly last Friday, really pushed out. It's one of the few markets that the Canadian dollar was one of the few movers in the markets effectively, and its pairs a little blocked up. Yeah, sorry guys, still a little bit blocked. Anyway, I'm sort of looking at a daily pivot there, but we'll see what happens this morning. It's got a high probability of being hit, that's why I'm looking at it. New Zealand dollar CAD, New Zealand dollar even, not CAD at all, New Zealand dollar, don't know why I'm talking about the CAD here, can't let go of it. New Zealand dollar looking slightly softer as well, bit Euro Aussie like even, similar tops and whatever else, but again the flags that sort of sit there a bit clearer on the 4-hourly. The flags that are sitting there may well just roll over. We've got the weekly pivots below, which could be a draw. Now we could get some decent bounces off these weekly pivots, and I will look at those if we do see price running down there, because the overall intermediate trend here was to the upside. Dollar Swissy, where most retail traders like to lose money, it seems. Well, we saw it last week, completely selling off the dollar against the Swissy here. We got down to sub 10%. People thinking this was going to be bearish, 90% thinking it was a bullish buy of traders trading the US dollar Swissy, that is. And it's still, to me, looking pretty soft here. No real change there at all. Okay. Euro yen, amongst my favourites. We're still seeing this continuation of have been seeing this continuation of a bit of a bounce here. It's whether or not it can do a great deal more. I'm looking at it on its shorter time frame, and it's halfway there, isn't it? Is it going to roll back south? I think anything coming down beyond the weekly pivot there would be a lot more bearish. Sort of looking at what's going on here, but we could just see a continuation. Choppy where it is at the moment. Can't really do too much whilst it's like this. A bit like the euro pound, it's a really choppy old pair, no real direction. Euro Aussie was looking for the break of the head and shoulder pattern that was sitting there. Mentioned it last week that it literally just taken out the lows there on the shoulders and made it look quite ugly. It voided the original pattern in terms of it should be a straightforward move there. It could, I mean, we are then now sitting in the channel, and it could break the channel. We left the alert up there, which could see it taking the depth of the channel, so we could see a one-to-one breaking. I say the channel, the box, whatever you like to call it, but it's sitting there, got potential for breakout to the upside still. Euro CAD still shoving up here. Still pushing up, but not a lot. The CAD just really weakened into last week. It took the flyer in the afternoon there. Anyway, not a pair that was. Looks great afterwards. It's fine if you were in the original trend, and some of these swings always what I'm looking at. Still sitting in a swing on the Aussie New Zealand. Just look at the Aussie CAD. I was looking at this last week as well. Didn't do it on Friday. Was looking for the breakdown here, but if anything, it put the flag in. It was a bit of a two-way shot on this, and it did actually run the flag on Friday afternoon, but without me literally just coming up to double top territory and rolling. But that was without me. Now it's looking a bit more ugly on this time frame, so the weekly pivot might well be a draw for this as well. But I was really looking initially at the downside there. It is a bit of a mixed one. Aussie New Zealand dollar still sitting in at this on the short side. That's a swing short. Was looking at the potential to add. It broke the or set my alarm off on Friday. They're not really breaking the lows that much. We'll see what happens today. Could still be an add-in. I was looking for potential add-in on this. I might see another bounce off these lows that we've got at the moment. We just watch what happens through this morning. But I'm not looking to add in unless it breaks the low. So it's quite simple there. Okay. And at which case, when I add in, I'll be break even on the original position, on the first position. So still only 1% risk. Okay, welcome gas. Right, okay, all done on the Aussie dollar. Let's switch across markets for now. Then it's not, as I say, not a great deal. There's a few to watch. We'll watch how they set up this morning, if they set up. Just a quick look at gold. Let's look at this from a daily picture. So it had pushed up last week, but again it's got in this point of consolidation. The only thing is with it does have the scope for further upside. I pointed this out last week though. Whilst all the other markets were absolutely flying against the dollar, gold wasn't necessarily. A weak dollar wasn't really. Yes, it had its movement, but it wasn't really flying. It wasn't taking advantage of the move, which makes me wonder and keeps me out of being a long on the gold. Right, the oil prices slipped back on Friday. Bit of a continuation at the moment. I'm still looking at these, looking at the prior highs here at some stage. Might be we get an opportunity at some stage later today. It's got a bit ugly though. That's the one thing I would say. Generally, I'm sort of looking for flags. For Ali, it's not looking too bad actually, and still may have the scope to do something. Gone a bit oversold maybe, but not ready to buy yet. Look for reversals on this. But as I say, the 4 hourlies there, it just needs to find some support. It's something like the 50 MA. Don't want to be catching knives at the moment, but I do like the upward trend that's sat there. Right, equity markets quickly then. CSI 300 coming off again in this ugly wedge I keep pointing out. It could go anywhere. It's a 50-50 chance. There's no real net gain on trading wedges. The Nikkei, well, it did gap up and close off a bit this morning, but trying to re-establish itself and push back up there, but slow at the moment. Nifty 50 just continues to break through again. It's my favourite in terms of the long side at the moment. It's just got it's going and going. I'm sure there'll be plenty of traders wanting to be selling that. The Aussie 200 likewise is seeing the benefits of what's coming through. The slowdown in interest rates will benefit the equity markets quite a bit. So let me just sorry, there we go. That's the Aussie 200. Sorry, son coming in for dinner money. Just like the Bank of Dad. US 500 here, a row of higher lows that we've seen running through. Everyone probably wants to short it because it's going up, but for now, yep, it's a funny old day. Very small day on Friday. I would not be looking to short this, but I'm never looking to be the first one to short anything. So if you like the fun and the excitement of these markets, you'll probably be looking to short it. Me, I'm just a boring old trader. Okay, Dow Jones, not a buy from here on either of these markets, I should add, but still hanging around its highs here. The more it sits around these highs, you expect it to push off at some stage, maybe most likely to the upside from what we've seen. We have had this sort of range in sort of 4-hourly market. If they do start sliding down, it's the easier one to trade to the downside. The Nasdaq, again, just continuing to push up there, regardless of what happens in the markets. I say in the markets, but what we're hearing or whatever else, the price action, it says it all, and it's still bullish there for now. DAX not so, sliding back a little bit here. The DAX coming back somewhat, but I'm just looking at, it's alright, looking at too many things at one go. Bull flag still sitting on the 4-hourly, but maybe find some better support into its weekly pivot there. It's just breaking back through its quarterly at this stage, not finding a lot of support this time. So European markets not looking so bullish. The pound's really struggling, and if anything, might be the easiest sell from the European market side of things. Certainly in the lower highs, lower low sort of territory. So if you want ones to buy, the US markets are looking pretty good, and Nifty 50 looking good. You want things to sell, really. DAX possibly, but certainly the FTSE looks a bit iffy still. I'll say that. I'll have a look at it tomorrow, and it'll have rallied 300 points or something. But for now, it looks bearish. Right. That's the indices. Finally, I'll just take a look at the cryptos that everyone's getting excited about following Ripple's Ripple. And well, not a lot of people caught on too long for Bitcoin. It's back to where it was and trotting along, not doing too much over the weekend there at all. I think Bitcoin, crypto traders must be on holiday. Ethereum, same old. Chainlink, yep, it's Groundhog Day. Sold back off a bit. It was pushing through last week. It went with the momentum for a little while, but it's still got its high lows, higher highs. It might outperform a little, but the others are just looking so iffy, and towards the lower ends of their ranges as well. To me, it's just weakness. Solano it outperformed some as well last week, pushed up there, but choking since. And Ripple, of course, it's not made a great deal of distance since, well, it's not made any distance since the excitement of the court case. That is it. So, quite old time really for the crypto market still. Don't get caught up in that excitement that everyone likes to. When they see a move like this, it's a news event that was expected at some point. Still more news to come out on it yet, so it's not all finished, but I expect if we see some more news that's positive, we'll catch another blip, and then what? Well, we're seeing at the moment consolidation like with the rest of the crypto markets. Right, on that cheerful Monday note, it's going to be a great day today. It's sunny. Have a great one. I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now. So